What's going on, guys? I'm back with another one. And I just watched a movie called Maxine. I don't know why I said it like that. Starring Mia Goth, Kevin Bacon, and Elizabeth Debicki. First of all, Kevin Bacon plays an important role. Well, not a big, huge role, but a very important role in this movie. So I thought I'd reflect on his career a little bit here, all right? Because don't take this the wrong way. I haven't really seen a lot of movies where he just steps to the forefront and displays his acting skills like he's supposed to. All right. In my opinion, he's only had 4 major roles where he decided that he can act today. Today, he knows how to act. Okay. And I'm going to explain those roles right now. I'm going to break those roles right down to the bottom of this thing. Okay. Movie number 1. Hollow Man. Oh, this movie is so crazy. It's crazy. When you think of all the classical monsters, let's just think about all the monsters from back in the day. Dracula, Frankenstein, the werewolf, all the ones that people actually, are familiar with. You don't think of the Invisible Man really getting a lot of movies. And he has. He has. More than you think he would get. And so when Hollow Man came out, I just wanted to go see something. I just wanted to go watch a movie, man. Anything that was out. And so when I actually went to the movies and watched this damn movie, it shocked me. It shocked me. It really showed how one man would act after going into a process like this. After his whole body is invisible, what would this man do? And Kevin Bacon did what, I'm not saying every man would do this, but a lot of men would do, unfortunately. Yeah, they would do it. They would do it. They would do it. And then the whole chemical, whatever was making him invisible, was starting to rot his brain. So yeah, he was doing some insane stuff. Example, that one scene where the woman is at the table and, she's doing some paperwork or whatever the hell. And he's invisible, of course. And he walks up behind her and her hair starts to move on the side of her shoulder. And he says, "Remember when we used to do this? Oh yeah, you know what this is." And my young brain had to, rotate for a minute and think about what the hell he's talking about. And I slowly realized that he's not talking about his hand. That was not his finger, his hand, arm, leg, none of those limbs. None of those particular limbs were, between her hair at that moment. And I knew from then on, this movie was going to be crazy as hell. It was already crazy before that. But he got crazier and crazier and crazier and more disrespectful. And it was highly entertaining as hell. I love that damn movie. It's a good movie. It really put an uninteresting monster from those classical monster days to the forefront. It made that interesting. All right. Really, just like the Mummy Returns and all that, with Brendan Fraser, how they made the mummies interesting because they were not. This is Hollow Man did that for the Invisible Man. I say it right there, man. And I don't care what else came out after that. Hollow Man did that. All right. Movie number 2. Wild Things. Yes, and I keep forgetting Kevin Bacon is in this movie. He's the crooked cop or something like that. And with all the fighting and backstabbing that the women were doing to each other, and the sex and scandals and all that crap going on. It was interesting and good. He was one of the few male actors that really showed you how a dude would be acting in between all this, how he would be reacting to all this. He's gonna ride that wave. He's going to ride that wave and do what he got to do. And Kevin Bacon did that. He did just that. All right. Much respect for his role in this movie, man. All right. Because I some of the things, no, I don't think I would do this. I don't know. Yeah. I can definitely get aboard with, what was going on in this movie. It was great. Good movie, by the way. Great movie, by the way. If you haven't seen this movie, please watch it. Please watch it. They don't make movies like this anymore, man. They don't. Movie number 3. X-Men First Class. Yes, I brought it up. X-Men First Class. Because Kevin Bacon, even though he doesn't look anything like Sebastian Shaw, he really did his thing as Sebastian Shaw. Okay? Intimidating as hell. He intimidated everybody in this damn movie. And he was a horrible person. He was a horrible person, and he gave not one F about the things he did. Not one F. Complete psychopath. Kevin Bacon has just a skill at making you hate him as a character. That's when he's at his best. When his character makes you hate him, whether he's a good guy or a bad guy, he's really good at making you loathe his character. All right. It's that scene what he did to, who he did to. Furious. I was furious. And Kevin Bacon just was so nonchalant about that. Like, after he did it. Like, yeah, I did that. That's right. On with the movie. No crying. No, I should have done that. No, he did it. He did it. And before that, the scene with him and Magneto, a young Magneto. Oh, he was a pure piece of trash as a character. But he played it so well in that X-Men movie. One of the best villains, underrated as a villain in any X-Men movie at all. Kevin Bacon. Last but not least, Sleepers. Now, I don't know how many people actually remember this movie. It came on HBO a lot. They played it on HBO about 1,000 times. You know how HBO gets down. They're really good at that. Okay? Looping it over and over again. Sleepers was about these 4 boys that were in a group home or something like that. And the caretakers over them were abusing them physically and other ways that I'm not going to get into. All right, you just know that they were dead wrong for what they were doing. All right, so these boys remembered that, and when they got older, they saw one of their caretakers, and it had happened to be Kevin Bacon. Kevin Bacon was still alive, walking around like he didn't do anything he did 1,000 years ago. Okay, and they really let him have it. The revenge was worthy. That he deserved everything he got until his last breath. But just the kind of person he was, just he had no conscience. He felt no sorrow or guilt for what he did back in the day. He had no guilt on that. He felt like he was justified. Like, that's life. I think he had a speech when the grown up adults, the kids is adult now. He had a speech with one of them talking about, oh, get over it. Like, kind of telling him to get over it. Get over it. That's life. Not what you did. You did to him. You sicko. You know what I'm saying? So, oh man, very good movie. Great film. And, if you haven't seen that, once again, go see it. There's some uncomfortable parts in there. Yeah. Trust me, I know, but it's just trying to portray what was going down in the film. All right, good movie though, good movie. It's a fast forward button if you need it. And now we have Maxine. And my question is Kevin Bacon's character in this movie going to be worthy of putting on that list and adding a number 5 to it? We're about to find out. Let's go. Maxine, for those that don't know, for those that are not aware, if you don't know about this movie, whether you want to or not, after you already knew about X and Pearl, you're stuck in the 80s right now. You have to be trapped in the damn 80s right now with the hairspray and the flock of seagulls and the weird music videos and all that going on. So you can't even concentrate because you're not even in the right era to know about this film. So I can't. No. Oh, I'm blaming you. I'm still gonna penalize you. All right, X and Pearl. You've seen one of them. You know about one of those. Don't do that. Penalized immediately. All right. Maxine. Pretty much about Maxine from X when she escaped those 2 crazy old people that tried to kill her. And she popped one of their heads with a truck. And she went to LA apparently to pursue a career in sex movies. Corn, to be exact. And, while she's doing this, there's the Midnight Stalker going around, which is an infamous killer in that time. Or it's made up, but he or she or whatever it is going around just killing. And they're trying to find out who this is. And then there's probably like a copycat killer or something like that too. They're trying to figure out right now. Just bit my tongue. And so while that's going on, and she's aware, trust me, she's aware. She's trying to pursue her career and get things right and blah, blah, blah. And all of a sudden, her little sex worker friends start popping up missing too. They start missing one by one. And so she's figuring out and adding it up and like, I'm going to be next. And so I'm going to have to put to the skill what I learned in the last movie. Okay? What I had to do in the last movie. I'm going to have to do that now in LA. I can't escape this. And there's a whole tape going around with blackmail by, Kevin Bacon's character, because Kevin Bacon's character is somehow connected to the killer, working for the killer. They don't know who the killer is still. All right. But Kevin Bacon's like threatening her, and he's got a tape going out, and he's going to put this tape out if she tries to do anything or whatever the hell's going on. And so she's really got to get creative with how she's able to intervene with this killer and find out what's going on. And that's the whole premise to the movie. Seriously. Positives. The 80s vibe was on point. Okay. You definitely got 80s out of this movie. If nothing else, it screamed 80s with everything that was going on in the 80s, the movie, the whole music movement and parental advisory and all that, and just censorship going on in albums and rock albums and stuff like that was going on at the time. And so they were showing a lot of then current things that were current in that era were going on in the news. And it was like real clips and like footage of everything going down. So, it kind of puts you into that aspect of the 80s, watching that. All right. And so I respected that. Another positive. You guessed it. Kevin Bacon stole the damn show, man. He stole the show easily. His character was like a private investigator for the killer, right? So he had this southern accent, and it's like a Louisiana accent, okay? And it was so deep. There's a thick accent that he really played that off. And he had like this kind of smart, assy vibe about himself. It was quick on the wit. And it really pissed Mia Goth off in this movie. It really pissed her off. It really got on her nerves. And that was the entire point to his character, to piss her off. And he did a great job at that. Okay? He was very calculating with that too. One of the best actors in the movie. And Mia Goth is in this movie. I just don't know what was going on with her. We're going to talk about that later on. But yeah, one of the best actors in this film, man. Every time he came on the screen, I was like, oh, something's about to happen. Because Kevin Bacon's character is on the film, you know? That's how good his character was in this movie. All right? Last, positive. The reveal of the killer. And of course, I'm not going to say what it is. Not going to say what it is at all. But that reveal was so interesting. It just almost out of nowhere. Because when you don't think about it, and there's been years in between these movies, you don't really think about what happened last. Or in that one smidget of a scene in one of those movies. And you're like, oh, well, I know this person is somebody important back in those movies. And I just don't think it's going to come back anytime soon, or even be relevant to the rest of the series. And then it is. That's all I'm saying about that. It all of a sudden is, and I'm like, oh, damn. Okay, this is happening. This is happening. This is the killer. This is the killer. Surprise. It should be really good. But we're going to get to that in a little bit. Negatives. Excuse how I say this, but it's the truth. Not enough sex. Now, there might have been some glimpses on the screen or whatever, because they're in the sex business at the beginning of the movie. But when you think about what she came to California or Hollywood to do, you're like, this is it. That's the sex in the movie. Maxine with a triple X in the name. And this is what you give us for the sex scene. X had more sex scenes. X had way more sex scenes. They were writing the gist of that, making the movie. I understand, but in this one, you come on. Now come on. It's just so bland. Knowing and thinking about how this is supposed to be based around a bunch of corn actresses. So what happened? What happened here? You dropped the ball. It's like having a movie about some monks. But when you watch the movie, the monks are not at a monastery. They're not doing any practices of what they do. The monks are on a basketball court playing basketball the entire movie. It's like, that's not what? No. They didn't do that right at all. Another negative. The killing scenes were weak. Extremely weak kill scenes. Yes, they showed some kills, and I think the only kill that was of any significance was the one of her roommate. The black guy. Why did they pick this kind of black guy to play the only black guy in the movie? I don't know. But yes. It was the only scene where you actually see up close of the killer just really going in on this character repeatedly. And they dragged that scene out a lot more than they should have. A lot more. And this is not a spoiler. It's not, the character's not of no importance. Trust me. But I'll put a spoiler there anyways, but it's of no importance. Trust me at all. It's not even an interesting character. Other than that, the other kills are off screen and you see the dead bodies afterwards. So, and then after that, it's like the remaining kills are like not even in slasher form or style. So kind of forgets that it's a slasher film after a while, along with the convoluted script and plot that starts, formulating throughout the movie. It gets pretty out of hand. It gets out of hand. I started to wonder, what are they doing? What are they doing? You got the cops in here making jokes, and that was okay because it's in the fashion style of the old 80s movies and stuff like that. But after a while, they become annoying, and you wonder, what are they doing with these characters? And Elizabeth Debicki's character was annoying as well. Like, she had no purpose at all. Really had no purpose. She did nothing. She really did nothing. And a lot at the same time. Her character came to no fruition. Nothing came out of her of importance. I'm sorry. It didn't land well with her in this movie, or a lot of other characters. And I'm getting off the point of the kills, but I had to add that one in there because it's also an important negative in this movie. When your plot is all over the damn place, and you're a slasher movie, but the slasher activity is low, very low, very low. Last negative. Everything after the reveal of the killer was completely and incredibly stupid. It was the dumbest thing. And it should have stopped after they revealed who the killer was. And they should have had their big fallout, showdown, whatever, go down. And that should have been it. That should have ended the movie. Okay? But it did not end there. It did not end there at all. It kept going. And it shouldn't have continued. the cops and the whole little war that was going on with other characters. I'm not gonna say, all right, that whole takedown was just dumb, and I lost interest so quick, and it just kept dragging the movie on and on and on. I don't understand. I don't understand why they would do this. In my opinion, they should have went the route of Maxine developing a killer instinct, or not a killer instinct, because she already had that. She just used it for defense. How about her just become a killer offensively? Okay, that would have worked better. You went through what you went through, some trauma, and now you picked up those bad habits, and now you're just like Pearl. Would have been a better plot than what I got out of this film. Horrible. I'm gonna have to give this Kevin Bacon saved this movie's hide. He saved this movie's ass. Let me root you right now, man. All right, press that like button, share, and you better subscribe.